Modern, post-war and contemporary art, decorative arts, jewellery and South African ceramics is what is in store for lovers of art at the upcoming Strauss Company's forthcoming marquee sale. The North-South live virtual auction, which is spread over 4 days, comprises of 8 curated sessions from the 8th to the 11th of November this year. To tell us more, we joined via Skype by the senior art specialist of Strauss Company, Dr. Alastair Meredith. Dr. Meredith, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. It's a warm welcome.
Oh, good morning. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Well, what is the North-South live virtual auction and how did it come about?
Well, thank you. You summed it up very neatly a little bit earlier. But it's a fabulous collection of arts and decorative arts that will be going under the hammer over the next few days. It's a cross-country sale. That is to say, some of the sessions will be taking place in Cape Town and others here in Johannesburg. It's also a cross-departmental sale. So there's an enormous range of items from ceramics, decorative arts, furniture, jewellery, all the way through to some fabulous sculptures and paintings too.
Paint us a picture, if you can, of what art lovers can expect over the 4 days between the 8th and the 11th of November.
Well, frankly, I mean, I would argue it's probably the best cross-section of South African art you'd be able to see anywhere in the world over the next few days. A really fabulous selection and collection. Everything is on view at our 2 viewing rooms in Johannesburg and in Cape Town, and we do encourage people to come and have a look. Of course, we are following COVID protocols very closely, but we are still allowing people to come and view. We have some very important mid-century sculpture, I would argue museum-grade sculpture, which is on show, all displayed together. And one expects that won't last much longer because, of course, once the auction begins, these fabulous items will be split and spread across the country and across the world.
And what kind of art pieces will be auctioned off at the forthcoming marquee sale?
Well, I mean, I suppose if you want to talk specifically about certain works, there's a hugely important sculpture by Sidney Khumalo, who's one of our most important 20th century modernists. It's a work called Madala No. 1. It's about 60 centimeters high. It was conceived in 1966. It has a beautiful patina, a hand-rasped surface. It's a very moving, evocative sculpture. That's certainly one of my favorites.
And speak to us about the process of curating 928 lots for a 4-day sale and what that has entailed.
Yes, well, I mean, it is quite a task, as you can imagine. Although, of course, we're never entirely in control of what actually comes up for auction. You know, people bring in items to potentially sell. We help with values, and yes, we do some sort of gentle curatorial work in that we do try and hang things together that make sense, put things into various sessions so that particular collectors sort of have a convenient group of items that they might be interested in. We also have a fabulous selection of predominantly French wines, fine wines, which have been put together by a private collector over many, many years. So to bring something like that to market is also hugely exciting.
Has the art auction industry suffered in any way, perhaps due to the COVID-19 pandemic? And how is the company navigating through these tough times?
Yes, well, I mean, things have certainly changed quite dramatically, you know, in our field, just like in all others. But we've been enormously lucky. You know, we've always had a very, very strong digital base. We've always had online auctions. So we were able to refocus and pivot to an online platform relatively easily. I have to say that maybe despite what people would imagine, the art market has been enormously strong over the last 9 months. We've had some fantastic results, some world record prices, lots of collectors sort of piling into the market for various reasons. So despite the otherwise gloomy situation, the market has been very strong.
The sale includes a fine wine, as we've mentioned, including a private single-owner collection of fine wines from renowned Burgundy and Rhone Valley domains. Tell us more about this and what you expect from that particular sale.
Yes, well, we're enormously excited by it. First and foremost, you mentioned it's a single owner seller, and there's a real personality in the collection. It's been put together over a very long time. The wine is in brilliant condition. It has been stored under perfect conditions. It's, of course, rather unusual to get such an incredible selection of very rare French wines on the secondary market in South Africa. In the past, in the last sort of year or so, we've had enormous success selling fine wines from the local market, which I would argue are enormously underappreciated. I think they are of international quality, and I think collectors are starting to realize that. But this particular offering is very unusual. It's unprecedented on the secondary market as far as wine is concerned in South Africa. We've had a lot of international interest already, as you might imagine, from the Americas, from Europe, from Hong Kong in particular. Exactly what's going to happen, I'm not quite sure. I think we're all rather excited to see, and that in fact is the first session starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow, and it can be followed live. The entire auction is streamed on our website.
Great chatting to you, Dr. Meredith. We appreciate your time.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
That is Dr. Alastair Meredith. He's a senior art specialist at Strauss Co, speaking to us about the forthcoming marquee sale, which features 928 lots of visual art, decorative arts, furniture, jewellery and fine wine. It's spread over 4 days and is composed of 8 curated sessions from the 8th to the 11th of November.